OpenCV is a pre-built open source library that is commonly used in video processing, machine learning, and image processing applications. It covers a wide range of programming languages including Python. And in this video on Python project, you will learn about converting an image to many different forms like grayscale, black and white, etc. with the help of OpenCV. So let's get started right away. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions and I will respond to your comments.
Okay, so now let's make out some other project regarding the image processing. Okay, up till now what we were doing, we were simply using up the OpenCV library and writing out some cool stuffs for the projects, right? Now what we are going to do is that with the help of that OpenCV library only, we are going to combine out that with the tkinter, okay? And now we are going to make out a project with a combination of the OpenCV library and with that the use of the tkinter library as well. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. And this will be a form of project into which I'll be letting you know that how you can convert one single type of image into 6 different types of images. It means that simply, let's say you are having a very simple image. Now, how to make that image black and white, how to like blur out that image, and all those things will be covered up right here into this particular project only. Okay, so this is the sort of project that we will be seeing ahead. Now, before moving further with any of the things, let me quickly give you an idea regarding the tkinter library. So that's a sort of a GUI library. GUI stands for the graphical user interface. So that is sort of GUI library which we use up in Python programming language for making up some GUI programs or for some GUI games and all those respective things. Okay, so today I'll be combining up the OpenCV and the tkinter library and making up some cool stuff. Okay, so what I'll be doing is now I would simply import up my relevant libraries, whatever are required up here. Okay, now I am onto my PyCharm IDE, so onto this PyCharm IDE only. Okay, up till now, if you haven't installed the OpenCV library for you, so yeah, please go ahead and install out the OpenCV library. Okay, command I would let you know. I'm going to write that command here onto the comment only, so you could just like use that out. So it's pip install OpenCV-Python. Okay, so this is the respective this is a respective command which has to be used out for the installation of the OpenCV library. Okay, now further with this OpenCV library, this is completely done. tkinter is one of an inbuilt library, so it doesn't needs to be installed out. Okay, you do not need to install out the tkinter, it automatically comes installed with the Python. Okay, further we'll be using some 2-3 more libraries. The one will be the easy GUI, second will be the matplotlib, and third will be the OS, that is my operating system. So in total we'll be using up 5 libraries for making up this respective project. Okay, so let's move ahead and start writing out our code for making up this particular project. Okay, so for the very first I'm going to import up my CV2 library. Okay, now if you are not using the PyCharm IDE, so that's not any issue. You could simply use any of the IDEs, but that should be some offline IDE, not the online ones. Okay, fair enough. Now, further with this OpenCV2, I did import up the CV2 library. Okay, next I'm going to import up you the easy GUI. Okay, my second library. Now, if that is again not installed and if it is asking for installation, so simply the command goes pip install easy GUI. Okay, further here I'm having import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. So this is my another library, and That's so here we are having up the matplotlib. Okay, so matplotlib is a sort of library which helps you to you use that in the data analysis, and even it helps you to make up some graphs, some bar charts, some pie charts, some sort of things like that. Okay, so the matplotlib is a library which allows you to do so. So now why I am simply importing up this library, because whatever will be my output in the form that whatever my images will be coming as an output for me, if I want to have up an option for saving them or doing up some sort of things, so into that case I have to use up the matplotlib. Okay, so the reason is this for using up the matplotlib library. Further, I'm going to use up here import OS. That's my import operating system. Okay, and next I'm going to write up here that import tkinter as tk. So I am importing up the tkinter library and giving that as a short form of tk. Further, I have here that from tkinter, okay, let me just get out some space here. So from tkinter, I'm going to import up the asterisk. Now, let me once give you a very clear idea regarding this particular thing. What are libraries and why did I use of these respective libraries? Because it's very important to know about these particular things. First of all, I imported up my CV2 library, and that is completely belonging to my OpenCV. Okay. Further, I used up the EasyGUI. So that EasyGUI is a library. Into that you'll be using for making up some GUI stuffs and all those things only. Okay. Nothing more than that. Further, we have the matplotlib library. Import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Okay. Now, matplotlib library, I did mention that it is used up in the data analysis and all those sort of things. So right here we are using that. Tkinter, I told you that for the GUI we are using tkinter, and the line which I wrote up very last, that is from tkinter import asterisk. What does this line actually meant out? So from tkinter import asterisk, it means that from the tkinter library, whatever the functions we are having, we have to import all of the functions. It means that at any time, at any point of view, we can simply use out any respective function. Right, so into that respective case, I am simply importing up all of my functions which I have up into the tkinter library. Okay, so hope I'm clear up till this particular place that what we are actually doing up here. Moving further, I'm going to take up a variable that's root. Okay, and one second. And I'm going to make it the tkinter window. So tk dot, and this is my tk. Okay, now root is my variable onto which I am storing up my tkinter window which I'm making. Okay, so this small tk is referring to my tkinter library, and this capital T and small k is referring to my tkinter window which we actually make out. Okay, which actually will be making. Now whatever the output you will be able to see, a new tkinter window will be opened out for you, and onto that respective tkinter window only you'll be able to see up all of the respective outputs that are gonna come up here as in a form of whatever the flower images, or in the form of whatever like image will be taking up. Okay, so into that case I simply declared up the variable and assigned it to the tkinter window. Moving further, I'm going to write up root dot geometry right here, and I'm going to set up some sort of geometry. So what you could do is that you could set up any sort. Let's say I'm going to do is 700 cross 700. Okay, now you could just take out any geometry of your choice, whatever you prefer. It means preference means that if you want your tkinter window to be in a larger size, so yeah, surely choose up the larger geometry. And if you want that into be small size, so yeah, you can surely choose up some small size geometry forest. Now one thing to please mention up here, that in between the thing which I put up here is the x. Okay, it is a small x. It's not that multiplication sign, that asterisk sign which you put up. Okay, it's not that. It's the alphabet. It's the alphabet which is a small x. Okay, so please make sure that you put out the same only. Getting down, I have to put up the title root dot title. Okay, and into the bracket I'm going to write up here choose to convert. It means I'll be getting an option that which image I want to convert up into different sort of images. I'll be getting up that respective option. So with the help of that, I could simply like use up here this respective sentence which is choose to convert. Okay, so into that particular case, you could just simply use this out. So you will be having a like dialog box open up for you written this particular thing. Okay, getting down, I'm gonna use up root.configure. Okay, now into the configuration, what comes? We have the background color, GROUNT background. Yes, so I have the color. That's the background, and you could just set up any background color of your choice. I'm gonna set up here as light green. Okay, getting down right here. Further, I did set up my like color for this for my background color. I did set that according to my choice. Okay, now further I'm going to use up the label is equal to, I'm going to use up here the label. Into the bracket, I'm going to set up my respective variable into which I had making up my tick in the window. Okay, so label is equal to label root comma. Here we have the background. Okay, so that background is equal to black. Let's say. Okay, fine, comma, then we have an option for putting up the font as well. So I could put up the font, and what's my font? That is okay, I have an option like this. My writing would be the Arial, the size would be 30, and that will be in the bold. Okay, these are my configurations for my font which I actually wanted to give it up here. Okay, fair enough. Further, this is completely done. Now, what do we have next? Next, we have the different types of functions which are to be made out. And into those respective functions only, we will be changing up the images, we'll be saving up different types of images, and all those respective things will be performed into those particular functions only. Okay. So, def, and we have the function which is u, let's say. Okay, get down here, and here I'm going to set up the image path. Okay, now this image path is a variable which I am setting it up here, and further I'll be as I told you, I'll be having a dialog box open up in front of me, and from that only I simply have to choose up a image for like for which image I want to convert up the particular one image into different kinds of images that I'll be choosing it up through, right? So my image path is equal to, now here comes the use of my easy GUI library which I imported above. Okay, so that's easy GUI dot, and here I'm going to write up file open box. And yes, this is the function file open box that I was talking about. It will be opening up the file box for you. File box means the file explorer for you. Okay, further I could simply use up here card to, okay, we have to use up a function here, but I didn't have made out. Let's made up a function here, def c. Okay, and 1 second, I'll be putting up like this and set the right or pass here. Fine. So here now I could just use up that function, that is say, which I did made right above, right below, and C here goes with my image path. Okay, so yes, 1 second, it's done. C image path, and here you have def C. Okay, and simply I'll be removing this up from here. Okay, now this is completely done. Further, I'll be like having up my original image and converting that image in some sort of changes. Okay, original image, my variable name. Okay, my variable name is the original image, and further with this respective variable, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use up the cb2 library, and with the help of that I'm going to use up the imread function, and this respective function is going to read out my image path. Okay. One second, here in the bracket as well, I have to pass the image path. Fine. Great. So I did have a variable which is original image, and into that respective variable, what is actually going done here? We are having a CV2 library, that's my OpenCV, and further I have the imRead function that helps us read up our image. So cv2.imRead, and into the bracket we are having up the image path. Okay, in the further bracket we are having up the image path. And what is there in the image path? In the image path, file box will open up for you, and from that respective file box you have to choose that what you want to, like which image you want to convert into different types of images. Okay, further again I am having up the same. So it's original image. Okay, original, okay, image, fine, original image is equal to, so for this I'm going to set up again, I'm going to cv2 dot, now I'm going to convert up the color of the image. So cvt color, into the bracket I'm going to write up the variable in which my image reading has been done. So that we simply did up in the original, original, one second, original image, right? Yes, original image. Fine. So I did simply have origi. So I did simply have the cv2.cvt color. The cvt color is simply used for converting of the color. Now which variable you want to convert? That is original image, in which my file image is actually getting readed. Further, which color you want to convert? I want to convert it to BGR to RGB. Okay, I want to convert it to BGR to RGB. Now, one thing I just messed up here, that is I need to write up the color as well, color underscore. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much sorted once again. Simply we did have to take up the make up a function. We have to declare up a variable. That respective variable will help us to read out our image. Further, we are having up cv2.cvt color, that is cv2 is my library, which is my OpenCV, and cvt color is my convert color one. Then further we are having up into the bracket of the convert color function, you did have to put up your original image, that what's the variable for which you want to convert up the color. So that's the original image. Okay. Further, that which color you want to convert, so it's color underscore BGR to RGB. Okay, this is what I did do up here. Fine. Okay, now I'll be applying up some conditions here, that if original image is equal to none, if original image is none. Okay, if this is the case, so into that you could simply write up a print statement that cannot find out any image, choose the appropriate. Okay, one second, let's try that out only, that cannot find out any image. Fine, this will be very much, like pretty much enough. So if original image is none, that it means that if at that particular place you do not find out any respective image, so in that case you could print out that cannot find out any image. Okay, further I am having sys.exit. This is, it means that from at that particular point only you have to take up the exit, means out of the complete program. Okay, and if this is not the case, into that respective one we are having different sort of variables which are to be made up and which are like to be used up here. Okay, so R1 is my very first one. It's cv2 dot resize. I am resizing my original image. Okay, so original image. So what is the resize size that I did actually wanted to put up here? So let's start as 930 comma 510. Okay, 930 comma 510. Fine, fine enough. Okay, further now this one is done. Now this is the original image that will be appearing. Now other than the original image, we have 5 more types of images that are to be shown up and that are actually to be checked upon. Okay, so now into that case, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take up the variables and declare up the different types of things, and with the help of that I'm going to further move up with the resizing and all those things, and simply making up different. What we'll be doing is that we'll be making up the grayscale images, we'll be making up the smooth grayscales, and we'll be having up the cartoon image, we'll be having up the color image. So this is all what we will be doing it up here. Right, let's move forward and write up the let's start out our code with the grayscale. So now further I'll be writing up the grayscale first of all. So I'll be writing up here grayscale as a variable for me. Further I'll be writing up here cv2 dot cvt color. I'll be converting up the color first of all. Okay, so cv2 dot cvt color. Into the bracket I have my original image. Okay, one second, original image right here. Okay, further I have my first of all original image, and further I have that onto which color I want to convert it. Okay, so putting up a comma here, cv2 dot, and here goes my color underscore, and at this time I have the grayscale, so it will be bgr2, and this time it will be my gray color. Okay, because right now I am doing up this particular thing for my this respective grayscale image. So onto that case, it's necessary for me to keep up the gray color. So from bgr I'll be converting this to the color, and that's the gray. And how will I be publishing or representing that out? So r underscore 2 is my variable. Here it goes cv2 dot, here we have up the resize. Okay, and into the bracket we have you the gray scale. Okay, here we have the gray scale separated by a comma. Here we have the okay, here we have to put up the dimension. So it's 930 comma 510. Dimensions I'll be keeping up somewhat of same for everyone. For each and everything I'll be keeping up dimensions somewhat of same. There'll be a slight difference that we'll be getting to know further into the video only. Okay. Great. So r underscore 2 is completely done up here. For the next one, I'm gonna write up here is smooth gray scale. So for the third one, I'm gonna make up the smooth gray scale. Okay. So again, how to do that out? So you have cv2 dot, and at this time I have a different function, that's the median blur. Okay, my different function, and yes, that's the median blur. Into the bracket I have grayscale image. Okay, not like that, it is my original image. So it's original image. Okay, original image. Fine. So yeah, for the median blur, which image I'm having? I am having it my original image. Comma, this time it will be cv2 dot, it will be color underscore. Okay, not like this. In this we will be having up the smooth gray. Here I'll be putting up one new thing. Okay, gray scale. Okay, I'll be writing up here gray scale. S would be capital. And this will be my image. Okay, grayscale image. And here as well I could put up the same thing, because it doesn't matter, because I have to take up the name as a same for them. Okay, so into that case I could write up like this grayscale image. The variable name will remain same for all of those. Okay, so cv2 dot median blur grayscale image, comma, here we have it as 5. Okay, Getting down, I'll be writing up here R underscore 3, and that will be equal to CV2 dot, it will be resized. Into the bracket, we have a smooth gray scale. Okay, SCALE, smooth gray scale. Okay, it will be the one separated by. Here I'll be putting up some sort of things and some sort of values. So that will be same as I did above. It will be 930, comma 510. Okay, 510. Okay. Okay, great. Pretty much sorted. This is this smooth grayscale is as well done. Grayscale first of all, grayscale image first time. Further, grayscale image is actually done. So here it will be GREY. Okay. Next, getting down, this time I'll be having up the edges. Okay, so it will be get EDGE, my variable name. Okay, so for this I'm going to write up CV2 dot adaptive. Okay, CV2 dot adaptive threshold. It means that I am going to get out and give out some values here into this, and according to all of those respective things, my image will be transformed. Okay. So CV2 dot adaptive threshold. Here we have a smooth gray scale. Okay, here I have a smooth gray scale. Separated by a comma, here we have the 255 as my value. Next, here we are having up, and I'll be writing that downside. Okay, I'll be writing up that CV2 dot adaptive, CV2 dot adaptive underscore fresh underscore mean underscore C. This respective variable, this respective parameter will be used up here. Okay, so it is CV2 dot adaptive thresh mean C. Next, we are having CV2 dot thresh underscore binary comma. I'm gonna give up some values here like this. Okay. So this one is basically for getting up the edges into the respective image. Okay. So great. Hope I am clear with this thing to you. And further with this only, I'll be writing up R underscore 4. That will be equal to CV2 dot resize, and into the bracket I'm having get edge variable, comma, and I'm going to put up here 930, comma 510. Okay, so yes, that's done. CV2 dot resize get edge 930, comma 510. That's completely done up here. For the R4 as well, we did make up the things. Now it's the time for my R5 and my R6, because I'll be having 6 with me. Okay. Where that 5. Okay, now here R underscore 5, but before that I have to put up the color image. Okay, and I will be capital for my image like this. Okay, that will be equal to, it will be equal to CV2 dot. Now we have the function which is bilateral filter. Okay, bilateral. Okay, F will be capital for filter, so it is CV2 dot bilateral filter. Into the bracket, here we have the original image, my variable original image, comma, and we could give up some RGB values, BGR values to here. So it's 9, somewhat. So you could just give up some values according to your choice. Okay, great. Getting down, this time I'll be making up my R5. So that, okay, R underscore 5. Okay. So that R5 is equal to CV2 dot, it will be resized. Into the bracket I have my color image. Okay, comma. My values are again gonna be same. It will be 930, comma 510. Right? Pretty much sorted for this R5 as well. Further I'll be doing it and proceeding on for the R6. So this time for the R6, I'm going to make up some cartoon image. Okay, so I'm going to put up here cartoon and the image. It's CV2 But now, which function you want to you actually use for making up a cartoon image? So that's bitwise underscore and. Okay. In the bracket, I am having up here the color image, comma. I am again gonna put up here the color image, comma. And here I have a parameter which is mask, and for that I'm going to put up here get edge. My that will be actually my function, sorry, my variable name, which we did already made it previously, right? I hope you remember that out. Let me get back here. Fine. So for the cartoon image it is done, and for that I have to now put up r_6. That's gonna be equal to cv2 dot. It will again be my resize si resize. Into the bracket I again have up my color image, comma, and I have this 930, 510. The values which I used to put up at each and every place for having up these respective things. Right, that's completely done. Now what is the part that is left out here is that we have the variable which is images, and into that we'll be storing up many types of things. As to whatever the variables we did made it up here, we'll be storing all of those respective variables inside the images variable, and further we will be now making out our different buttons and different labels and all those respective things, right? So now let's make out those respective things. So now further I'll be declaring up the variable, and with the help of that particular variable only I'll be proceeding on. So let's say my variable which I'm having up is images. Okay, so I'll be storing rest all of the variables into a list. So it's R1, it's R2, it's R3, comma, it's actually R4. We were having around 6, right? R4, one second. Then we have R5, and at last we have R6. Okay, so these are the respective variables which we are actually having it up here. Okay, now further I will be doing up some other sort of things, and let's see that what we have here. Now I'll be making up a figure as okay. Whenever you want that whatever the plots you have made out, you want all of those respective plots into one single respective like a window or as an output. So onto that respective case, you have to use up the matplotlib library. Okay, so you use one of the functions from the matplotlib, which is subplots. Okay, that was the reason I did import that out. So if we comma, my variable will be x's. Okay, that is equal to plt dot subplots. Okay, plt dot subplots. We have 3 comma 2 comma, we have the fig size, and then that's equal to into the bracket, one second, into the bracket we have 8 comma 8. Okay, comma, we have here the subplot. Okay, we have the subplot underscore kw as a variable equal to, I'll be coming down here. Okay, now I will be putting it up here some other things. So now inside these curly brackets I'll be writing up xticks xticks. Okay, one second, let me get back above first of all. Yeah, and further now I could do like this. I don't know, is it gonna like do up other things or not? Let's see. So xticks colon, and I'm gonna put up the brackets like this. Empty list I'm gonna put up in front of this. Okay, same I'm gonna do it for the y ticks. And for that again as well, I'm gonna put up the empty list. But just one second, I am declaring up the dictionary and the values for that. Okay, okay, fine. So x6 and y6 are pretty much done here. Further, this is completed. After this, I'm gonna put up a comma, and I'm gonna write up grade spec underscore kw parameter, and that so will be equal to, here I'll be making up a dictionary. Okay, it's not, let's like that dict. Okay, get space. Okay, is equal to dict, and that's my dictionary. Into the bracket I'm going to put up some other things here as well, one second. Okay, now right here I'll be writing up a parameter which is h space. So whatever the space you want, you could just put that according to your choice. I want the space to be 0.1, so yes, I'm doing so. Further, you have the height space and the width space. H space is the height space and W space is the width space. So what is the space for the width which you wanted out here? So that could as well be done up at this particular place. So width space, okay. So that will be equal to 0.1, and yes, the brackets are already put it up here. These are already at this respective place. Great, so this is done. Let's get down here and further I'll be using up a for loop. So further I am having for I comma ax in enumerate. I'm going to use up the enumerate function here. Let me get down. For I comma ax in enumerate, I'm going to use up the x's variable which I did made up of, and instead of that x's dot, and I'm going to use up here the flat function x's dot flat. Okay, let me get down here, and now I am having here ax dot im show. Okay, it will help me to show up the respective image. So into that we have the images, and in bracket we have the I comma. What is my C map? So my color map, actually C map is from a color map, and that I could put it up as gray simply. Okay, done. Now next I have to save up the images if I want. So I have a variable as save one. Now I'm going to declare up a button, and that's always going to help me out to save up the respective things, right? So root comma, here we are having up the text. Okay, text root comma text is equal to, and that will be save cartoon image. Okay, comma, what is the command that has to be followed up here? So command which has to be followed up here is my lambda, okay, putting up the colon, getting down, lambda save, okay, r underscore 6, comma, and here we have the image path. Okay, so yes, that's the thing which has to be done up here. I just wanted to check out one simple thing here. See, okay, done. Let's get down here, and I am now gonna write up save one dot configure. Okay, it means that I'm gonna give some background and the foreground colors to my button, which is gonna appear as an output. Okay, so for that the background will be I want the background to be red. Okay, next comes my foreground, that is my font color, ground. Okay, it will be my font color that I want here to be yellow. Okay, while meantime I just saw one thing, this has to be in the caps r underscore 6. Yeah, so yellow, comma, I could set up some font of my choice. The font is equal to, let's get down here, and my font is equal to, I could put that in a sort of way I could put up the font which is my Arial. Okay, my size could be 20, and yes, that it can be in the bold as well. Fine. So let me get up here and let me get back. Okay, here I forgot to do a one simple thing. I forgot to add a PADX and PADY value. So PADX is my 30 and my PADY value is my 5. Okay, great. Let's get down here. This is pretty much sorted, and now I have save one dot pack. It means that where to place this up. So side will be the top side. Okay, side will be the top side, and PADY value will be the 50. Okay, and here I could simply use plt dot show and the bracket like this. Great, pretty much great. Fine. And now further my only one function is left out, that is my save function. So it's def and the save. Okay, so into this I'm going to pass up two parameters. First one is resized resized 6 comma, and second one is my image, okay, image path right here. Let me get down now. Fine, put up the colon, get down here. Now I could make up a variable as new name, okay, and that is gonna be equal to, here what's it written, it is converted image, okay, some sort of thing like this. One second, yeah. Down here we have the path 1, and that is equal to os dot path dot directory name. What is our directory name? So into that you could simply put up the image path variable. Okay, for the directory name, you could simply put out that image path variable, and that is going to take up the care of everything. Okay. Further, here we are having the extension. Extension is equal to os dot. Here will be the path dot. Okay, os dot path dot. It will be split okay, split text. Okay, it will be split text. Into the bracket I have here the image path. Okay, and into this I could put up simple 1, right? Now further, after this extension I have the path, and that is again the similar somewhat thing, os dot path dot. Here we have to join the path, so join with the path 1 comma with the new name comma new name plus extension. Okay, so onto that trick is, what do we have to do here is that we have to join the path 1, we have to join up the new name, and even we have to join up the extension. Okay, further we have cv2 dot im right, my variable that helps, right? Further we have the path variable, it is cv2 dot cvt color, that is my convert color, and convert color to my resize 6 variable comma, it will be cv2 dot, it will be my color, and this time I'll be converting RGB to BGR, so color underscore RGB to BGR. Okay, this one I further above I did to BGR to RGB, right? Now I'm converting that out back again. Okay, this is done. I could take up a variable as a small I. Okay, that is already made above, so I can't make that out again. So I could write up that okay, one second, the saved image is of the name is of the name, and I could put up a plus sign here. Okay, further I could put up the variable which is new name. Again I could put up a plus sign. Here we can put up at. Again I could put up plus sign, and here we have the path. Okay, next we have tk dot. Here I have the message box. Okay, from the tk library dot show info. Into the bracket I could write up here the title is equal to, I do not have any title, none. And what about the message? The message was equal to I, that what message has to be printed up in the message box. This is completely done. Now I simply have one of my buttons to be made it of, that is for the conversion of the image, that button. Okay, so it will be small a is equal to, okay, it will be button. Into the bracket we have top comma, sorry, it will be the root, the variable which you made out. What is the text which you want to put it up? I want to put up the text which is conversion, one second, which is conversion of image. Okay, after this I could put up a comma, and what command is to be followed up? So command which has to be followed up is u, the variable, the function which you made above, and patx value will be somewhat 15 comma paty value could be 10. You could put up any values according to your choice. Fine, this is done. I'm going to write up now a dot, it will be configure, a dot configure, and into what is the background color which you want to put up? So background is equal to, I could put it up here somewhat, conversion of image. Okay, I could put it up like the black. Okay, and what is the foreground color? So foreground, and foreground is going to remain to be white. Okay, what about the font? So font. So font is gonna be somewhat, it would be first of all Arial, then the size would be 30, and then it will be the bold as well. Okay, done. Now I'm going to use that a dot pack function. It will help me to put up the things onto a particular place. A dot pack. So the side which has to be packed up is the top, comma, and PADY value here is 50. And at last I have to simply write root dot main loop to close up my complete program. Right? So hope you are very much now clear that how do we actually first of all make up some sort of project like this. Okay, now further what I'll be doing is that I'll be running this out and showing you the complete output or whatever is actually gonna come up as an output to us. Okay, so now before moving on to and getting up like quick output, let's quickly have a quick review that what we did do up right here into this particular project, because I know the codes were very large. So let's have a quick review that what we did. So first of all, I imported up my relevant libraries which were actually needed up into my program. The very first one was the CV2, that is my OpenCV library. Next was EasyGUI. Third one was my Matplotlib. Fourth was my OS, that is my operating system. And next we were having up the tkinter. So do you use use? So I did already mention of that why I am using of this respective or that respective library. So I'm not going to repeat that out. Further, we made up a variable that is root, and onto that we simply made up a tkinter window. Okay, we simply made up a tkinter window for that. The geometry for that is 700 cross 700, which I did to try to made out. Title choose to convert. Background I want to set it as light green. Okay, then we did made up a label, and onto that label again I want to set up the background with black, and font I did already mentioned up. Then I simply made up a function named u. So that respective function actually was opening up the file box for me, from where I have to choose that for which respective file I want to convert up and do the sort of things, right? Further, we were having up the image path, and that has been declared. The image has been read out from the image path. Then if the image is not found, so in that case this respective will cannot find out any image. Fine. Then what was our main program? Our main program was to convert our image into different types of images at one single time. Right, so I want to convert that into grayscale, into a smooth grayscale. I want to convert that into the edges. I want to convert that into the cartoon form, and all those things I wanted to do. Right, so the reason I did use of this much types of variables here is the same. So we did make up a variable, and for that we just put up for the resizing of the image. Further, we made up a grayscale image variable, and further we did converted up the color. And further we did converted up the color here with the original image. Then was my color. I just converted my color BGR to gray. Fine. The third thing for the goes for the smooth scale. Fourth one was for the get edge. Fifth one was the color image, and sixth one was my cartoon image. Okay. I guess here inside, instead of this color image, it shall be my cartoon image actually. Yeah. Let's put that out. See, one mistake, very rectified. Cartoon. Okay, TOON, and here goes my image. Okay. Further, I'll be writing up here. I did mention up the images onto a list. With the help of Matplotlib library, we did made up the subplots. And then we added up the respective buttons and the save options for this. Now let's run out our program and check out that do we have any error, or we are getting up the complete and the final output for that. So it's gonna take up a little time for appearing. Okay, it will take a little one. Okay, so yeah, it will actually come up. We did mention a lot of things here on as an output, as a here output. So it has to be taken care of each and everything, right? So it would take up some sort of time. Okay, here it is. Right, conversion of image. Okay. If I click upon conversion of image, see this file box appeared, right? Now from here I could choose up any respective file. Let's say I have this image and I choose that out. I click on open. Okay. Now have a look at what is going to happen up further. See, this respective image has been converted as my real image. This is my gray, this is my smooth gray, this is my edge one, this is my blur, sorry, this is my cartoonish, and yes, this is the last one. Right, so different types of images are actually appearing up here at one single time. Now from here you have the options for saving this out, like save this figure, and further you could save that onto your respective, let's say I want to do it for a desktop, and if I just simply click on save, so that has been actually saved out for me. I could go on to the file explorer, and from there I could just show you for the desktop. So yeah, see here my figure one has actually been saved. I'm just simply opening that out. So this is how actually it saves up the things, and it shows up all. See, this is my figure which has been saved it out here. Now that was my specific reason that I was using of the matplotlib library, because it's pretty much like easy. From here you could as well click on save cartoon image. Okay, so okay, this has no attribute message box. Okay, we have to do out one single thing. Let's write it out here, and I would just write out here that from tkinter import, and I'll simply import of the message box. Okay, now you could simply run that out, and you could further check up the things, and you could simply conversion of image has to be done up, and I'll choosing some different one. Let's take this one, and I'll just click on the open here, right? So I just see now all of these have been changed, right? Gray and this edge one and this cartoonish, and everything has been blurred. Everything has been completely changed up here, right? And you could just simply save that out. Okay. So great. Hope I am very much clear with this particular project to you, that how do we make up these sort of projects, and how are these types of projects actually made, and how do they work out.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.